TV ads with Frank Thomas, the big hurt, right?
Oh yeah, the patented key ingredient is Testofen, which helps boost free testosterone levels and increase lean muscle mass.
Well, it's clearly working for you. Hey, are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try for themselves?
Yeah, Nugenix is a great way to increase lean muscle and feel stronger with more energy and endurance.
Man, I need to get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix.
Rob, you just gotta send them a text. Text by Sept to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix, the #1 selling free testosterone booster and GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of new Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help get you back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BICEP to 42424. That's BICEP to 42424.
Donald Trump says we're not safe in Biden's America, but we're living in Trump's America now. And 200,000 Americans have died from the virus that he lied about.
The simple truth is, Donald Trump failed to protect America. So now, he's trying to scare America. Mr. Trump, want to talk about fear? Do you know people are afraid they're going to get COVID? They're afraid they're going to get sick and die. And that is in no small part because of you.
Joe Biden will protect the American people, putting our safety above all else.
I want a safe America. Safe from COVID. Safe from crime and looting. Safe from racially motivated violence. And I promise you this, we will do better. There's not a single thing beyond our capacity when we decide to do it together. I'm Joe Biden, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Biden for president.
Sports are back, and that means the BetMGM Sports Lounge inside MGM Grand Detroit is ready to take your real money wagers on all the action. Stop by any time and place your bets at the live betting window or one of the easy-to-use self-service kiosks. With baseball, basketball, hockey, and football in full swing, the BetMGM Sports Lounge welcomes fans back to the excitement of a full betting menu 7 days a week. So get ready to believe in your game again at the BetMGM Sports Lounge at MGM Grand Detroit. Must be 21 or older.
The Detroit Tigers play the Kansas City Royals. Pre-game tonight at 7:40 on 97.1 The Ticket.
That's like Rome canceling church, man. I mean, that's a big deal. But yeah, although that's not Permian High, which was the original Friday Night Lights school, so that's not. Okay. Some predictions next hour: Lions and Arizona. So, look, I kind of get the feeling that Detroit isn't sitting on the edge of their seat with the outcome of every Lions game. Given the 0-2 start, I'm a little afraid that there might be some apathy setting in, which, I mean, it is what it is.
We have to go by now.
Don't give them people a reason to watch anymore. I don't know that they're going to, but still, they'll take to the field on Sunday. And I think there's two things that make this game for the Lions worth watching. That's what I'm looking for this week. One is, I think we need to see some improvement from Jeffrey Okuda. Yeah, he needs to play better than he did last week. He can't do it this week. Like, did he learn from his first game? Because he got turned around, man. He got shook quite a bit last week against Green Bay. And this week, the challenge is pretty big. DeAndre Hopkins leads the NFL in receptions with 22. The next closest has 18. That's a lot of short stuff, averaging only 10 yards per catch. But he's got to love DeAndre Hopkins. Do I expect him to win all those battles? No. Do I expect him to improve from what he did last week against one of the better passing attacks in the NFL? unrealistic, but yeah, I do expect him to get a little bit better. When he's not guarding Hopkins, could be going against one of the greatest to ever play the position, Larry Fitzgerald. Not what he once was, but he still has 11 receptions and 12 targets. Again, a lot of short yardage stuff, 7.6 yards per catch. Kyler Murray's yards per completion is 6.6. They don't really, we haven't through 2 weeks gone down the field a lot. So short passing game, how does the Lions secondary match up? And specifically, how does Okudah look week to week? This is important. Sure, it's important for this year, but it's important more so long term. Obviously, a lot invested here in Okudah. So, you just, this is one of those, hey, guess what? You gotta get this pick right. And the early returns here are shaky. So, Okudah is one guy I'm going to be watching to see if he is going to take any steps forward. Now, if he doesn't, okay, I'll tell you where I feel like we need to see at least incremental steps forward. They play Green Bay, I think it's week 14, it might be week 13. Then you can have an apples-to-apples comparison of, and provided everybody's healthy, how did he look in that game against Green Bay the first time, and how did he look the second time? We got some text earlier saying, hey, why aren't you talking about the fact that C.J. Henderson got burned last night? I don't think he got burned, but it was a tougher game for him. He gave up a PI, he had a bad play where he just forgot he was in the NFL, and then touched a guy when he was on the ground. There was a comeback route. He got shook bad on a reverse, but, it wasn't like he was an embarrassment or anything like that. But still, I want to see Okudah show some improvement. And the other thing, and this one again is for now and for the future, is Kenny Galladay's expected to start. And the injury update had him practicing the last couple days, and they think he's going to start. So, how much of a difference does this guy make on the field in the here and now? Stafford has just 4 25-yard completions downfield. Last year, he led the NFL in that before he got hurt. Darrell Bevel wants to have a throw it deep, run the football kind of offense. And they really haven't done that yet. Galladay's a big part of it. Marvin Jones can be a big part of it. How is the offense going to look when people are healthy? When they're closer to their full complement of players. Vitae practice, he's expected to start. Right tackle. But specifically Galladay, there's a couple things here. He's got the looming contract. So, I feel like there's something's got to happen in the next month. Or then I question if it's going to happen at all. And that is him sign a contract. Contract extension. It's going to expire. Now, just because it happened before doesn't mean it's going to happen again. But let's not forget, back in 2018, Lions were 3-4. And they had traded, they made a win-now move before the trade deadline. They traded for Damon Harrison to help the defensive line. A future draft pick for a player that came in and could solidify their D-line and play pretty well. Was at a position of need. And that year, he helped them. But a week later, and they were still talking playoffs, they had a wide receiver in a contract year that they dealt. Even though that team had playoff aspirations, Bob Quinn wasn't going to lose Golden Tate for nothing, and he dealt him for a third-round pick. So that team had a chance to make the playoffs. This team, a month from now, they could be out of it. And if they're out of it, and they have nothing to play for, do they move Kenny Galladay at the trade deadline if they don't have a deal there? Do they follow what they did a couple years back with a team that had a shot? And move a guy on a team that doesn't have a shot? I mean, it's an interesting scenario that could play itself out, that Quinn trades an asset for a future asset that he may never get to use. And that might keep him from making that trade. Although I think ownership can tell him you're trading What's a realistic return? I said a second and a fifth. I might be underselling it. I'm trying to keep it as realistic as possible. Because invariably you get the calls that say 2 firsts. 2 firsts and a player. Probably not getting that. Although you never know with Jerry Jones in the league. So, do you trade him if he hasn't signed within the next month? Do you keep him? Here's the other thing about why this is important Sunday. He needs to show to the trade market that he's worth trading for. Right? He's coming off an injury. If he comes back and does nothing, then what are we talking about here? We're talking about a guy who is hurt, seems to be slowed by an injury. What kind of market is there for a player like that? So Kenny Golladay, to give the Lions flexibility, it would be nice if when he gets back, he's effective. It would be nice. Now, we talked about this at the beginning of the show. You threw out the option. You tweeted out the question. Would you move Golladay? Or would you sign him to a contract? That has over 1,100 votes right now. Dealing for draft picks, 43.7%. Sign him to a contract, 56.3%. So it's relatively close. I'm listener influenced with my response, but I'd probably sign him to the contract. And the biggest reason is I feel like the likelihood of this thing being in a full-scale rebuild has gone up. I feel like the likelihood of them moving Stafford and drafting a quarterback also has gone up. I guess you don't need to move Stafford to draft a quarterback. You can be awful at the top of the draft, take Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields, keep Stafford, and move him the next year. Every year, his contract gets a little bit easier to trade. But what would you do? Because if you do hand it to a rookie quarterback, the theory is you have a veteran team, ready-made to win team, and you plug in that cheap quarterback because rookie quarterbacks don't count as much against the game. And we've seen this play itself out in, Philly with Wentz, LA with Goff, Chicago with Trubisky, Kansas City with Mahomes. A lot of young quarterbacks that get opportunities where they try to build the team and then get a talented quarterback, but a talented quarterback that comes cheap. Because when you have to sign a quarterback, the numbers are astronomical. But you can build a team around it. All right, 248-539-9797. What would you do with Golladay? And if you do trade him, what do you think you can get back? Got a lot of feedback that's come in on that. Want to get your phone calls mixed in as well. Next hour, some Lions predictions. Well, we had a lot of people with some bold predictions about what was going to happen earlier in the show. We'll revisit that. Coming up at 102. If I bet it at 135. It's Carson Anderson, 97.1. Hey, you're looking for lunch still? Let me suggest one of my favorite places in all of Metro Detroit. It is Tropical Smoothie Cafe. I had that big bet with Rico last week. The Big Ten football would be announced by Friday, and it was announced, I think it was Wednesday. So I won the bet, and I got a free lunch. What did I get? I got the new Barrio Protein Smoothie from Tropical Smoothie Cafe. And you can get one right now. That or the new Chicken Parma Flatbread, outstanding. Make every day a vacay with the bold flavors and craveable pairings only at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. They got the made-to-order fresh quality, flavorful ingredients, and you can get it custom made. And you can do it through the app, too. We'll get to the app in a minute, but that's where you order everything exactly how you want it. Fresh add-ins like almonds, spinach and kale, chia seeds, ginger, or the supplements, protein, fat burner, energizer. And if you use the app, you skip the line, you save time, you order ahead, walk in, walk up to the counter, grab your sandwich, wrap, smoothie, whatever you get, walk out, and earn Tropical Rewards points while you're doing it. It's the Tropical Rewards app. Download it today. Eventually you're getting free meals. Tropical Smoothie Cafe, you're on Tropic Time now.
nature doc and chill, if you're an armchair astronaut, if you prefer physics to psychics, or perhaps you know a precocious paleontologist, go to curiositystream.com to learn more and sign up today. At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it. Charmin's Super Mega Roll is 6 regular rolls in one. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
You run a business and you need better wireless. 3 words, no more compromise. With the T-Mobile Business Advantage, you get the largest 5G network, award-winning customer support, and insanely great value. No trade-offs. Right now, get up to 90 days of unlimited free on business plans when you switch via bill credits. Stop in to find out more. Plus taxes and fees for some plans. Complete more within 60 days. Customers over 50 gigabytes per month have lower speeds during congestion. Video at 480p unlimited on our network. See T-Mobile.com for 5G devices coverage and plan details.
If you're curious about who may be out there but don't want to jump into anything right away, then take a fun step and just take a look at Our Time. Our Time is the #1 dating site for singles over 50. It's easy to use and can help you find a partner to share in a new activity you've been wanting to try. Take a walk or just meet someone new. Check it out. Start for free today. Go to ourtime.com. That's ourtime.com. Start for free at ourtime.com.
Navien tankless water heaters, the proven leader in condensing technology. Request a Navien because you deserve the best in endless hot water delivery. Learn about Navien's condensing tankless water heaters and find a Navien contractor at tanklessmadesimple.com.
Last year, 97 won the Ticket Student Heart Check program detected over 150 student athletes who needed a follow-up with a cardiologist to ensure they have a healthy heart. Make time to have your child checked. Contact the Ernst Cardiovascular Center at Beaumont Hospital in Royal Oak. WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. A radio.com sports station. Sports headlines all day, every day. From the Sold by YC Sports Desk. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
This update is brought to you by Gordon Chevrolet. The Lions are back on the practice fields in Allen Park today as the build-up continues for Sunday's road game in Arizona against the undefeated Cardinals. Return of Kenny Galladay likely to happen this week. Odds makers now have Arizona listed as a 5.5-point favorite over the women's Lions for Sunday's game. The final regular season series of the year is set to continue tonight for the Tigers as they battle the Royals in Kansas City. If you're looking for a positive sign concerning the Tigers in the last month or so, a stretch where they've lost 18 of 29, it's been the resurgence of Miguel Cabrera, who's hitting .314 with 6 home runs and 24 RBIs since August 23rd. Here's interim manager Lloyd McClendon.
None of this surprises me. Almost got that quick scoring. And a lot of it comes from discipline at the plate, making sure to get good pitches to hit and not expanding too much. And he's done that as of late.
Our coverage of tonight's game begins at 7:40. The Stanley Cup Finals resume tonight in Edmonton as the Dallas Stars, down 2-1, take on the Tampa Bay Lightning in Game 4 of that best-of-7 series. By the way, whichever team wins the Cup this year, the players won't have the luxury of traveling with that storied trophy around the world after the season. In a release issued by NHL officials earlier this week, they announced the Cup will stay in place in the winning team's city for the entire offseason, and that players will only be able to handle the Stanley Cup in that city after, quote, enhanced safety protocols have been enforced. From the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Tony Ortiz. For more, stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket, the radio.com.
Took our skater out today, 248-539-9797. He did send his picture. things here. One is Akuda, and how necessary is it for him to show some improvement from week 2 to week 3 here, his first game to his second game. 2 is, what is your gut telling you? What would you do with Galladay? Would you deal him for draft picks or sign him to a contract? There's a lot of moving parts with the Galladay story because, first of all, to deal him, you hope he returns and plays well. That's 1. And 2 is, if you want to sign him, can you get him to sign? How much would it cost? I'm thinking it probably in the $20 million per range. Which put him in the top 5 paid receivers in the league. I think that's all right. Well, let's get back to your phone call. Sean is next here on 97.1. Hi, Sean.
Hey, how are you? Yeah, I just want to talk about Kenny Galladay. I think this year they've added extra teams in the playoffs, which is actually good because it allows some other teams to trade possibilities because they want to contend. But I'm looking at one team that's a legit contender in the AFC that's actually having a little bit of problems with Marquise Brown. That's Baltimore Ravens. He's getting locked up. He's a speed threat, and they're checking down a lot for Mark Andrews. They could really use a guy like Kenny Galladay for Lamar Jackson to be probably the number 1 receiver. And if you're a legit contender, a team that needs to compete with the Kansas City Chiefs, I think you could get their first round pick, which is more or less a second round pick. It could be so late first round.
No, that's an interesting thought. You try and be as reasonable as you can in terms of what would your return be, and okay, can you make a case for a team giving up a first round pick? If I'm Baltimore, I think a Kenny Galladay puts me over the top. Would I give up a first round pick to go get him?
Like you look at Miami, they traded Minka Fitzpatrick for the Steelers first round pick last year, and the Steelers were already in the big bet. They weren't even going to go to the playoffs. I thought that was a little bit. I don't think it was a great pick to pick up Minka, but they weren't going to contend last year. They gave up a first round pick.
I'm just looking at something here that might be a problem for Baltimore. Is cap space is an issue for
your rental, right? Like you don't have. It's more or less a 1 year. You need to win this year to compete with Kansas City because I don't know if they offensively they can put up the points, and I don't think their defense is as good as it was last year.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting suggestion. I like the way you're thinking there, Sean.
And the Patriots would be another one. If they can compete with that NFC or the AFC East, they would need another weapon for Cam Newton as well.
Yeah, no, I gotta tell you, I think you're onto something there. But would you trade him? You wouldn't sign him. You'd trade him.
Yeah, I want to trade. I love Kenny Galladay. I think he's a really good player. But the way you look at the amount of draft picks that are going high, like for wide receivers this year, there's about 5 or 6 guys in the first round, and actually the number 1 guy so far is Chase Claypool, who they drafted in the second round. You can find guys later in the draft. $20 million for a team that's really not going to compete anytime soon. It's just too much. Like you can go get to 2 really good defensive
I guess
players.
the only thing I'd say to that, Sean, is that it's easy to say the Lions aren't going to contend anytime soon. You can turn it around so quickly in the NFL. It is reasonable to think that this team, if they sign Kenny Galladay, that A team, if they sign Kenny Galladay, could compete before his career is done. A team that's 0-2 and struggling. It never happens here, right? That's the hard part to buy in, but teams turn it around quickly in the NFL. So that's where I guess I disagree with you. If they re-signed him, I think the window in which they re-sign him, it would be potentially doable to build a winner if you did things right. 248-539-9797. Tons of feedback coming in on Twitter regarding this. And again, 44